back here. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes. Izquierda. That's all I have to say about that. And we are now jumping straight into our grand finals for the evening. As always, we have a Terran player up against a Polish Protoss player. As is tradition now for the Sparkling Tuna Cup.
Oh yeah, we are here in the grand finals. Everyone, predictions are open. Place your bets on who is going to be this week's champion. Is it going to be the Terran or the Protoss?
That's what we're going to find out in this best of 5. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance. We, of course, have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Belarus. He is going to be representing Storm Gaming. He is Nicoract.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have the Polish Protoss player himself. He is also pink. He is also representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. And the Rax isn't at home.
And it's not at the base on Nicoract's side of the map either. It is an actual proxy this time.
Yeah, exactly. Not the most committed proxies. We do have a couple of gases being taken back at home. Krystianer is going to be able to dip in here, confirm the missing racks. But is it a real proxy or is it fake?
He'll never know until he sees.
He will never know. Right now he's going to scour around the edge of the map. Again, not the most committed proxy. This should just be for a Reaper, for a handful of Reapers to dip on in and get some damage done. I love it. Krystianer, he's already setting up some SimCity here to make sure if the Reaper does go into the mineral line, it's going to be stuck here and going to have a little bit of issues getting out.
Yeah, you're going to have to go the long way around if it wants to start attacking probes. And by then, you know, Krystianer will probably have an adept or something here to aid in the defense. So yeah, just making things a little bit trickier for these Reapers to get value.
Exactly. The SCV even gets a full scout of as well. The SCV confirms the wall, does spot that cyber core in the end, so Nicoract has to be very careful with his Reaper movement, as the first Reaper is going to be able to dip in here. We do have one Zell to help defend, and how many probe kills can we get?
We get 1 and
Two kills, not bad, not bad. The Adept is about to come out at the same time that Zelt is running across time to try and force any kind of delay here, maybe even slip into the main base, just like what happened earlier today. Hopefully Nicoract is able to make sure that the wall is indeed a wall, as the first Reaper is forced away by the Adept.
Yeah, but I tell you what, second Reaper is now here to provide a little bit of support.
Oh. Yeah, and he thinks about maybe committing in the end. It looks like he will be able to just barely get away at the same time the Zealot gets across the map, and the wall is indeed a wall, doesn't get into the main.
I was so worried about that for a second, but this should be enough to keep the Zealot at bay. Cyclone kind of being forced to be made here. No! Nicoract ran out of minerals! So the SCVs went back to mining!
Oh god, it looks like the repair is going to be here just in time to keep the stack up alive a little bit longer. At the same time, looking at the unit slots tab, it looks like one Reaper did go down to the Adept, but Nicoract has doubled down and he's going for our proxy starport with a tech lab.
Did he scout the Stargate of Krystianer? Because if he did, this is ballsy.
He is.
Wow.
He did scout it, and he is ballsy because Krystianer is going for a Phoenix of all things. This is spotted, by the way, by the Reaper. The Reaper does confirm the first unit coming out, but there is no detection.
Yeah, you know, when you go for a Phoenix, you're not getting Oracles. You don't get Oracles, you don't have Revelation. If you don't have Revelation, you can't detect the Cloak Banshees, which is exactly what Nicoract is going for.
Oh, exactly. We'll see if he can pull it off. We'll see if he even decides to... I think he's going to bank up a couple of Banshees first so we can one-shot them. But before that happens, he also has to defend against the aggression here of Krystianer. He's moving out across the map with everything he has, with the Zelt from earlier, with the Adept, with his Phoenixes. We do have one Cyclone to defend, but only one.
It gets lifted immediately, but thankfully for Nicoract, a second Cyclone does pop out. Isn't going to be enough to save that Cyclone, but at the very least, he is able to take out the Phoenix for his troubles.
It does take out one Phoenix. Ooh, a couple of transferring workers get caught out there. 4 SCVs go down. The Cyclones are doing whatever they can to try and hold on. We do see Nicoract does have his second CC, but with the help of this Phoenix, this second Cyclone is going to get picked off as well.
Yeah, these two Stalkers, man. is able to provide so much damage to add to the support that Phoenix is giving.
Yeah, exactly, and there's just nothing here at home to defend. We have one more Cyclone coming out. We have basically no production. We do have a Banshee across the map, but it's waiting for its second Banshee. He doesn't want to pull the trigger too soon, but he has to pull the trigger at some point. Like, this is just getting out of hand.
He doesn't want to pull it too soon. He's got to pull it pretty soon, though. Finally, Nicoract is able to deal with this aggression from Krystianer. Unfortunately for Nicoract, I mean, Magfield Accelerator was researched at the start and still isn't finished, so yeah, that wasn't able to contribute to the defense. But now, Cloak is done, 2 Banshees are out. Nicoract is looking to pay back those lost workers tenfold.
He lost 11 SCVs. How many probes can he get? I love that he's still not activating that cloak, by the way. He doesn't need to, so he's saving as much energy as possible. There we go. The Phoenixes reveal themselves, and there is that cloak. 10 probes already going down, 10 and counting. So many are falling.
Yeah, he's evened up the worker kills, but he's going to need a little bit more than that. You know, Krystianer, he is finishing up his third base right now. You know, he is able to reproduce those workers a lot quicker than Nicoract can. Now he's evened up the worker count, and things are looking a bit more even as well, especially thanks to the mules Nicoract will have available to him.
And I love that Nicoract, he split up his Banshees, so one Revelation only gets 1 offset Banshees, and it was the low energy Banshee as well. There we go. Finally, they get cleaned up, not before killing 28 probes, and it actually does even up that worker count.
What a weird start to this game. But we should have but I don't know why we were expecting anything less from Nicoract versus Polish Protoss.
It's beautiful, mate. Meanwhile, quickly checking the vision here, it looks like, okay, Krystianer has found that proxy in the end. It looks like he will be looking to clean that up. Nicoract is going mech, by the way, because he got Magfield. He's committed to Cyclones, and he's making 2 more factories.
This is... I mean, it is something that can work out for him, but he's only on 2 bases at the moment.
Oh my god! And he only has 3 Cyclones, and they all get lifted. Aye. Once again, Krystianer wreaking havoc here. He's going to be able to take down every single one of these Cyclones. There's just not enough DPS. There just aren't enough units.
And something tells me that Nicoract's not going to be able to make any more of them. It was really good of Nicoract to be able to even out that worker count, but Krystianer came back to make it a little bit less even in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Now, basically, no mining here at the natural base of Nicoract. He does have a starport flying on in, so he can make like a Viking in his face or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some way for him to come back. He is making 3 Cyclones at a time, I guess. Don't get me wrong, that's great and all. But there's just I don't see a way where he can come back, Buffy. I don't see it.
And neither do I. I mean, maybe if somehow these Cyclones are all able to group up and they're all able to nail their lock-ons on the Phoenixes, and the SCVs also repair them in time. A lot of things have to go right for Nicoract, and none of them did. GG. Krystianer takes game number 1. And ordinarily we would, you know, think back a little bit and say, okay, this was the moment where Krystianer really solidified his victory, or this is the moment where, you know, things really change. But it was such a chaotic game that I don't know if we can apply the same rules to that.
Yeah. Like, I just really appreciate that despite things like everything was on fire for Nicoract, like he was able to counterattack with his own Banshees, and they did even things up. Like, it was crazy. The unfortunate reality is that the rest of Nicoract's production was basically non-existent. He waited until Krystianer left his main before he started his factories, so his Cyclone production was really delayed. He wasn't making anything from his racks either. There were no bunkers. He just had very little to work with for when it came to that counterattack, which is just unfortunate.
Yeah, the Cyclones or the extra factories definitely were a tough choice to make there. I mean, again, they are expensive and they take a while to make, but at the same time, what more could have Nicoract have done for that position, right? If he throws down barracks, he's not gonna have enough time to get add-ons on those, so he'll just get Marines that just trickle into their death pretty much. Cyclones, though, they take very, very long to build. It was kind of tough all around for him in the end there. But this gives me hope that we're gonna have a finals that's every bit as chaotic as the past 3 weeks have been. We're going to be continuing it. Yeah, we're going to be continuing it here on Inside and Out. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way. In the bottom left-hand corner, we of course have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Belarus. He is of course going to be representing Storm Gaming, here to defend his championship belt. He is Nicoract.
Belarus?
What? Did I misspeak?
Spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the pink Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer.
Who the hell was I thinking of this entire time? Who's from Belarus? This entire tournament I've been saying he's from Belarus, but he's from Russia! Who was I thinking of?
We did have we were casting someone from Belarus last week. That did happen.
Speaking of Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no.
What are you on, mate? What is
this
happening?
Entire tournament I've been introducing Nicoract as a Terran player. No!
To be fair, you can Funada me as well because I didn't notice until now. Like I didn't. Oh my god.
And here's the thing, I had the bracket for Sparkling Tuna Cup 23 open.
Yeah.
This entire time to be like, oh yeah, Nicoract, he won last week. I just completely ignored the flag and how it looks completely different, how the Russian flag looks completely different from the Belarus flag. I'm like, oh yeah, Nicoract from Belarus.
Ay.
Oh man. I should go to bed after this.
It's fine. Look, man, we're almost there, mate. We're almost at the end of the finish line. You know, we can see it. It's on the horizon. We're there.
In fairness, nobody noticed at all.
Yeah. True.
So really, we were all sharing the blame, chat. You, Light, and me. We're all in this together.
Aye. Well, regardless, speaking of being in here together, this one Reaper of Nicoract is already dishing out so much damage. 3 probes going down, much more than we would really expect, because Krystianer just didn't see that bunker until the last moment. Finally, he's going to be able to clean this up, but not without losing all those workers. Meanwhile, across the map, that first Adept is going to be forcing some lost mining time here. We don't have any mining on the low ground, but at least we have a much more standard opener. We're not seeing mech.
Yeah, we're not seeing any proxies or anything. I mean, you could argue that this bunker's a little cheeky, but, you know, it's not a cheese or anything like that.
Yeah. It's just a little bit annoying, you know, just applying a little bit of pressure, just keeping Krystianer on notice here, as he will eventually be able to clean all of this up. The repairs are pretty insane, though. Finally, we have some target fire, and finally the SCV is going to go down.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it actually better in the long run to just... You know, now that you have the 2 stalkers and the shield battery, is it better to just chip away at the bunker and then allow your Terran opponent to use up their resources for nothing, or would you rather just take out the SCV? Because at that point, even with target fire, the Reaper's not going to kill any probes.
Yeah, like maybe until the shield battery runs out of energy, you know. Until then, it's probably worth it, but you have to be careful not to lose any workers once that runs out, as the shield battery was keeping everything alive. So, you know, things can get a little bit intense there. In the end, though, Krystianer does clean everything up. Looking at the vision of Nicoract, I believe he did scout the Twilight Council, so he knows that there is no Stargate. He doesn't have to worry about any Phoenixes. He doesn't have to make any kind of defensive cycling. Oh, but he did, just in case.
Yeah. And that's going to be really useful in this defense, especially because that bunker is delayed a little bit.
Oh, it is delayed. Thankfully, it is going to be able to finish up. Nicoract does just push back that little bit of aggression from Krystianer. And again, like, he wasn't committed or anything. He is getting a third base behind this. The gateway explosion is upon us. And yeah, we're just getting a straight up Blinkstalker opener.
Yeah. A little bit more standard this time. Back to... I think what we saw Krystianer was trying to do in one of his previous series, but yeah, unfortunately for him, his opponent decided not to go that way. So Yeah, this time we are seeing a bit more of a gateway Swarm Toss-esque style coming from Krystianer.
Yeah, we have charge behind this. We don't have a commitment into forges, so I imagine we're going to be seeing a robo or a robotics base soon TM. But for now, Krystianer, he just is maintaining that map control, keeping Nicoract at home, kind of threatening him with these stalkers at any moment as he dips in and just okay, doesn't even try to chip away at the bunker.
Yeah. And he doesn't have a mass amount of stalkers just yet. He also doesn't have high ground vision. There's a tank set up here in the back of Nicoract's main base, so Krystianer, if he wants to blink into the main, he is going to have to wait a little while for reinforcements. Ooh, nice pick off.
Oh, yeah. At the same time, Krystianer goes for a blink forward here, but he just runs into a tank. He runs into the bunker as well, so he just doesn't really find any damage. Nicely done here by Nicoract, and now the next thing that we have to look at is whether or not he throws down a third CC or more racks, as he has a lot of upgrades on the way, and there are quite a number of Terran players that don't enjoy playing the mid game against Protoss. They don't want to play against Colossus or Storm. None of that.
Those are the normal Terran players, I would say.
Yeah.
And everybody else who's like, I'm gonna get ghosts and play the late game is insane. Ryung.
Honmono.
Honmono.
As he did that against Night Phoenix, to be fair.
He did.
Meanwhile, there we go. Storm is on the way. It's not done quite yet, so there is going to be a window of opportunity for Nicoract where he can hit and maybe even catch these stalkers before they have any splash damage to support them, as Nicoract is going to be pushing out with these 3 tanks.
Yeah, very good timing once again. I mean, we normally expect Nicoract to have these very crisp tidings, and he should be able to hit before, just as Storm finishes up. Keep our eyes peeled. Okay, Krystianer has 2 High Templar, so there's still a couple of Storms available by the time this army reaches.
Yeah, Krystianer, he's just trying to chip away at this army, trying to slow it down. This isn't all in. We do have a 3rd CC behind this, but it is quite late, as in Nicoract has to deal some kind of damage here. He's going to be able to force the army back towards the 3rd base, but he has to be careful because we do have Storm.
Yeah, and he's a little bit in the low ground right now. The tanks were focus fired a little bit on the High Templar, but one of them will land their Storms. Most of the stalkers were taken out, but that is not what Nicoract has to worry about. It is the charge lots that are going zooming straight across the map right now for a counterattack.
Yeah, they're going to try and catch some reinforcements. At the same time, we have a double drop going into the main base. Krystianer has not seen this, by the way. He is unaware, and he is out of position.
Yeah, forced to recall a little bit here. A couple of probes go down, which is not bad. Actually, this is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely 9 probes go down, and it looks like the rest of the army is going to be able to pick up and lift up, but at the same time, the Zealots do get across the map, and they reciprocate that damage. 8 SCVs have fallen, as well as some reinforcements.
And these Zealots, man, they're still standing strong. These Marauders are tough. They're not dying, but neither are the Zealots.
Yeah, exactly. Even some Marauders get picked up as well. So in the end, despite the fact that the drop was doing surprisingly well for Nicoract, this counterattack, oh my god, it's not stopping, puppy! It's not stopping!
Who needs a Warp Prism, man, when you can just zoom across the map like so?
God, the wave of Zealots just doesn't stop. At the same time, the double drop comes back in. It is able to at least depower some of these buildings and get into the mineral line as well, but the reinforcements are coming in. There is no recall, but GG gets called.
Krystianer takes game number 2 after a very tight defense.
Very tight defense. We did have 8 gateways behind that for Krystianer, and I'm just shocked that he was able to apply as much pressure as he did without a Warp Prism and without a proxy gateway. He just warped in and just ran across the map.
And he understands that Zealots, they go zoom. Yeah, especially on a short rush, just this map, like inside and out, you can get away with something like that.
Definitely.
Might be a little bit difficult to do the same on something like Cosmic Sapphire.
Yeah, it probably will be more difficult, but regardless, still very impressive play there by Krystianer. Very solid defense. Not just defense, but also just the wherewithal to know how vulnerable his opponent was. To be fair, a lot of that is because Nicoract did lose. Well, he lost 3 of his tanks, right, in that push, and like resetting the can count like that. Yeah.
But regardless, we are going to be continuing our series right now. Hopefully not concluding. I want to see more coming out from this player right now. On Cosmic Sapphire, here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player coming out from the land of Russia. He is, of course, going to be representing Storm Gaming. We have the defending champion, Nicoract.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the pink Polish Protoss player himself representing Team Blazer, currently up 2-0 in this best of 5 grand finals. He needs uno más, one more to become our champion. It is Krystianer.
Getting a bit of an update here, by the way. Kuro is informing us that Nikic was the player I was thinking of from Belarus.
There you go.
They have similar names.
Yeah, they're both Nicks.
Nico and Niki, yeah.
Yeah. Copia. Oh god. And one of them's a Terran and the other's a Zerg, and they but it's fine.
Look. They're both Nicks. I think at one point we did say for both players separately, like, oh yeah, we're not really sure how to pronounce it, so we're just gonna call him Nick for short, and that probably didn't help things.
Probably not. Probably not. Oh god, but as you were saying in the intros, I do also hope that this isn't going to be the final game here. Like, I want us to go the distance, or at least to go into game number 4. But Krystianer has been on fire today. I was just quickly looking, and the Madman hasn't dropped a single map so
Really?
Ah.
Damn. He was hungry after missing out from last week. He knew he had to redeem himself.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed because usually, like, someone is able to make him bleed, whether it's Miomaika or whether it's Azura, or sorry, Arrowfire is the player that did that last time. But yeah, typically there is someone that's able to make him, you know, work for it and go to the ace match in one of the earlier rounds. But this week he's just been 2-0ing and maybe even 3-0ing everyone.
Yeah, we'll see if he can complete that perfect perfect tournament here with literally 0 damage. And so far, I mean, as much as I feel like Nicoract has really been able to take it to Krystianer, you know, really been able to pressure him a lot, it does feel like the minute Krystianer senses even a slight bit of danger, he just adjusts slightly and is able to completely crush his opponent's aggression or offensives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, like, talking a little bit about the previous game, it was a really unfortunate push for Nicoract. The fact that he was forced to siege up on the low ground, you know, that he had some really nice target fire on those High Templar. I think we were both noticing that. But we had Immortals to defend, and Immortals are exactly what you want to target fire and to focus down those tanks. And with the death of the tanks, you know, Krystianer, he just knew that he had to pull the trigger. Speaking of pulling the trigger, though, Nicoract himself has made an extra wave of Hellions and Reapers he wants to go in.
The wall is in fact a wall, but not if that KD8 charge has anything to say about that. This is not a scouting force. This is a force that's meant to deal damage.
Oh my god, the probes are lining up as well. 8, 9 plus probes are pulling basically every single probe here at the natural bases. They line up once more for one more volley, and 11 probes go down.
I love the target firing coming out here from Nicoract, just completely ignoring the army units of Krystianer. He needed to do damage. He could lose those units. And with that, he's able to take quite a little bit of a lead here in the early game.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, Krystianer didn't have his first adept across the map. He wasn't able to scout what was coming his way, and now he's going for a bit of a counterattack. And to be fair, there is no bunker on the low ground, so these Marines are a little bit vulnerable. There's no stim or anything like that, so there is micro potential here for Krystianer to chip away and deal with those Marines.
Yeah, he definitely has to be careful. He only has 1 Stalker to kite with. But pretty soon, that Stalker is going to have Blink with it as well. And now we have 2 Stalkers! Oh!
Yeah, we have 2 Stalkers. We have the lock-on as well. Looks like one more volley, and the Cyclone actually goes down. So Krystianer, he's not going to be able to just overwhelm and kind of just overwhelm and make everything happen here, but he trades quite well. Oh my god, he's not stopping. He's not stopping!
He is not stopping at all. He's continuing to kite the Marines as best he can. It's probably a good choice to take out the Cyclone. I mean, it does limit the range of Nicoract's attacks by quite a lot. It does force Nicoract to siege up here back in the edge of space. I said back a few too many times. I don't want to say it again.
It's so good. I was stumbling over my words as well. I was supposed to say overwhelming snowball. That's kind of what I was going for. And then he was just doing just that.
Yeah.
Oh god! But in the end,
I got what you meant.
In the end, Nicoract, he defends, is able to hold onto his natural base as soon as those tanks come out. We are going to be going into that mid game.
Yeah, for once in the series. Well, hopefully anyway. We thought we were going to get a bit of a mid game in game number 2 as well, but yeah, unfortunately the push didn't quite go Nicoract's way, and Krystianer was able to end it from there.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit concerned here because Krystianer did go for the Twilight Council opener, and he's going for a Dark Shrine behind this. If given the opportunity, I'm sure that we are going to be seeing some DTs coming in. We do have eBays, so we do have access to missile turrets, and there are some Terran players that will just throw down a safety turret just in case at the natural, but Nicoract isn't doing that.
He should be saving a scan at least, though, right? Yeah, he's got a scan available in his natural CC. Shouldn't be feeling too trigger happy with the mules. I like the landed Viking play, and this is a brilliant scout for Nicoract.
Wow, this is beautiful. The Viking gets 5, or the 2 Vikings get 5 probe kills, and they are able to scout that Dark Shrine. So we were talking, or I was a little bit concerned that there weren't going to be any turrets. We have them, but it's too late.
Well, it shouldn't be too late to keep Nicoract alive. It is too late to keep that tank alive, which, again, is kind of unfortunate. We were talking about it with regards to game number 2. You really don't want to have your tank count reset. And that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked, but actually both the tank on the low ground and the tank on the high ground were killed by these DTs, and that means that there's going to be a massive window here. Krystianer, he knows that he's pulling everything across the map. He knows how vulnerable Nicoract is as he has 0 tanks.
Yeah, these DTs still wreaking a little bit of havoc. Best thing they can do right now is split up the bio army of Nicoract. Oh, loses 1 DT and almost loses the Warp Prism as well.
Hey, we don't have any factory production. Like, we still don't have any more on the way. It looks like, though, Krystianer decides to turn around. I do think that this is kind of a blessing in disguise here for Nicoract, just because of how vulnerable he is. The DTs, they just keep on going in. Finally, they're going to get cleaned up, but Krystianer was a little bit more concerned with the counterattack.
Yeah, and it's coming. It's halted for a little second because Nicoract needs to regroup, but it's coming nonetheless.
Boy, yeah, it looks like the rest of the army has shown up, but Krystianer, he does have eyes on this. He's going to be able to slow this down a little bit, but does Krystianer have any kind of splash damage? No, he's relying a lot more on his Zelts and Archons.
Yeah, and you know, the Archon, if it can get a couple of volleys on these Marines, that can definitely contribute a lot. Nicoract's upgrades have finished up, but it looks like it's not going to be enough here to stem the tide of these charge lots, these Stalkers, and this Hero Archon.
Exactly. F's in the chat for that one immortal that was. F's in the chat for that one immortal that was caught out. There was a little bit of a miss rally there, and this drop, it stuck me.
This is the entire army of Nicoract.
Oh boy.
It's
stuck.
No. Oh, no, there are only a handful of Stalkers that are keeping it trapped here and even taking them out. Krystianer has had enough. I mean, he knows that there's barely any units in these medevacs. He's sending the bulk of his own army across the map right now, and I don't see a way for Nicoract to hold against the onslaught of Charge
tanks, by the way. There are still 0 tanks. He has not rebuilt them at all ever since they went down, and there's nothing to protect against the onslaught of Zelts. They just get us around on everything, and there's just nothing to hold. No motor mines, no tanks, nothing.
Yeah, we have boys, but yeah, that's not exactly good enough in this scenario.
Yeah, exactly. We have a scan here. Nicoract trying to see how far behind he is. I think he recognizes that the end is nigh. He can't get a third base up and running. The drop is still stuck in between in that dead space. GG gets called.
Krystianer will reclaim his throne, taking that series 3-0. Oh man.
Wow, GG, well played. Congratulations to Krystianer on not just taking the series, not just becoming our Sparkling Tuna Cup 24 champion, but also for doing so without dropping a single map.
True, yeah. That only just hit me. I don't think any other player has done that in Sparkling Tuna Cup yet.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit shocked. Maybe I'd have to go back to the first couple of editions of this, but maybe Beyond back in the day when he was actively playing. But like outside of Beyond, like I don't think anyone else has been able to do so. So yeah, just a really impressive showing here. Really impressive showing by Krystianer.
Yeah. And doing so against the defending champion as well. A little bit of a, I would call it a grudge match, but definitely a little bit of a match that would test our champions' mettle. And Krystianer did come up ahead. I will say though, from Nicoract, it's a little unfortunate that it feels like a lot of times in game, just little things here and there didn't go his way that stacked up. But for most, despite the score being 3-0, I do feel like Nicoract was keeping up very, very well against Krystianer.
Yeah, for the most part he was. I do think that I think that something that we saw though in every single game is that Krystianer, we were bringing it up to be fair, is his killer instinct. Like as soon as he gets a lead, or he knows how to get small leads, like he has such intense micro with his first handful of units when it comes to picking off marines and then picking off tanks afterwards. And as soon as that tank count gets low enough, he's like, okay, let's go. And he just punishes you so hard. Like it's a very, very aggressive style, a very punishing style to play against.
It's a kind of style where he's definitely looking for leads and opportunities, but if an opportunity presents itself, he knows exactly how to force that lead.
Oh yeah,
great instincts all around.
Definitely. And yeah, again, congratulations. I also want to give a shout out to Nicoract as well, because even though he may have struggled a little bit in the grand finals, like he had a really good showing. He had a really good run to the finals as well. Like his series against Demi was beautiful to say the least. So yeah, I hope he's not too upset with his performance here. Like I think we're very impressed.
Yeah, he definitely did Belarus proud.
God damn it, Yaku. Shaking my head. But yeah, with that we are going to be
haunt me forever.
God damn it, Yaku. With that, yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone enjoyed the tournament today. We had a great turnout, players from all over the world, from South Korea, from India, from Southeast Asia, from Europe. Even a player, as I quickly check, even a player from Mexico. We had Alan Ray. He was here as well. Yeah.
Our DJ of the week.
Our DJ. We're calling him out a little bit, but yes, our DJ of the week. There's always at least one. Always.
We love you, DJs.
We love you. We relate to you.
That shows your commitment.
Exactly.
To competing.
Oh god. And if you in the chat want to support this tournament, !Matcherino in the chat. Again, we don't have any coupon codes, but if you want to pledge some of your own money to the tournament, all the money on Matcherino goes straight towards the players, towards our top 2 and sometimes top 4 depending on how much that Matcherino page grows. And yeah, it was just a great tournament today, great turnout. Something that I want to say a little bit is that our Sparkling Tuna Cups, they've been getting more and more popular recently. Like we keep getting solid turnouts.
Love to see it. Yeah. Like 2 weeks ago, we got our biggest turnout yet, and then a week later, we got a turnout even bigger than that. I'm not sure if this week has topped last week's, but yeah, having 22 players in a bracket for a weekly event, yeah, that's always something that's very reassuring for a tournament organizer. Yeah, it gives us a sense of, yeah, we're doing something worthwhile in a way. We're doing something that people actually want.
Yeah. It feels good seeing so much interest from the players and also from the viewers as well. A lot of people have been tuning in. They've been really loving the tournament. So it feels good. It feels good to find success with this. For those wondering, this is a relatively new tournament series. We have started it this year. Before Sparkling Tuna Cup, we had Grand Platypus Open, which, you know, we also did our best to support our own region, our oceanic region, but of course we had to retire that tournament series, or at least put it on hiatus. Maybe one day it'll come back, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what Sparkling Tuna Cup has been able to become.
Yeah, as am I.
Yeah,
Which is why No, I don't know where I was going with that, which is why, if you would like to support the Sparkling Tuna Cup and potentially other ventures, that's NDA, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat to consider a little bit of whatchamacallit, support towards the Cranky Ducklings organization. If we hit certain goals, we're going to be looking to expand the tournament itself. And maybe get a couple other tournaments. TM, potentially.
Maybe. You know, we got a lot in the works. So again, thanks so much everyone for tuning in. I also said, you know, we also have a great mascot as well. I love the tuna. He's amazing. He's beautiful. We even have.
Oh, I thought you meant the puppet.
What are you talking about? That's not a mascot. That's an abomination, Yaku. Ay. But yeah, our lovely tuna. We even have an emotes for our tuna as well. I love the tuna, just like jamming it out with his headphones. And with that, we are now done for now. What I mean by that is that we have another broadcast starting in a couple of minutes. We're gonna need some time. Literally. We're gonna need a little bit of time to set up all the graphics and everything. So we're not gonna go offline. Stick around if you want some more StarCraft, because we got a whole other tournament starting soon. But thank you so much, Yaku, for joining me for Sparkling Tuna Cup.
You too. Thank you for having me. Coming around here once again. I would love to stick around for a little while longer, but yeah, I'm feeling a little bit out of it at this point. So I will be replaced by everybody's favorite casting jersey. It's a little bit of a teaser.
Yeah, Kuro will be. Yeah, if you didn't know who he was talking about, Kuro will be jumping on in a couple of minutes to join me. Maybe in a little bit to join me. She's gonna like be posting when we go live and all that stuff. So I may solo cast the first game, but it's fine. She will be joining me soon, and the tournament that we're gonna be casting is the OSC King of the Hill. Usually, I believe it's casted by either Steadfast or Chicken Man, or maybe even some drunk Canadian. Like they typically rotate between some casters depending on who's available. But this week Eddie reached out and he's like, yo, we need someone. Are you guys willing? I'm like, man, we're always willing.
Oh yeah.
We're always up to cast some StarCraft. So we are gonna be covering a King of the Hill style tournament. What is that? It means a player stays on and they get challenged by another in a best of one, and basically they get paid out depending on how many how many game wins, how many map wins they get under their belt.
Yeah, if you remember Shoutcraft from back in the day, it's the exact same formula.
There you go. So shout out to OSC, shout out to Eddie for running that tournament. We're going to be diving into it soon, TM. But before we head off, Yaku, where can people find more of you?
In my home, I guess, twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I stream very sporadically, so stay tuned to twitter.com @EmporaYakuzaku to keep updated on whenever I do decide to stream. !Discord in the chat. We'll bring you to the Cranky Ducklings Discord server. I'm there. Light is there. Kuro is there. The bot who announces when we go live is also there, so that's to keep in mind. And apart from that, I'm pretty sure that's everywhere you can find me.
There you go. Follow Yaku. He has been streaming more regularly recently, so give him some love, give him some support over on Twitch. Meanwhile, you can follow me at @light_VIP on Twitch as well. I do stream throughout the week. I do some ladder sessions. I've been playing Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game that's been coming out. I've been working on that. I think one more session and we're going to finish that. So if you're interested, you can follow me there. I do struggle on the ladder and I do die to Terrans constantly. It's beautiful. Feels to Port BC, man. But thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We are going to be heading off for now. If you want some more Cranky Duckling broadcasts, and follow us on the Cranky Ducklings, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We are all over the place, so follow us there. Join us on Discord if you want to interact with us outside of just these casts. And we are going to quickly go on a break. We're going to come back in like 5 minutes. I'm going to quickly set up all the overlays, and we'll be back with some more StarCraft.
We'll see you then.
Ciao.
Well, bye. Bella.
Ah.